Shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Waharaka Kodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways, teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats.
It was an extraordinary claim. So what is really going on in Springfield, Ohio? What do you think about it? Have you heard about it?
I've heard about it, but I haven't seen anything really.
Yeah. And you're not worried about your dog?
No.
And who's eating them? I have no idea.
But then a man who didn't want to be on camera with a hint of how these conspiracies are seeded.
I've never seen nothing going on with the dog and the cat, except what I've seen on TikTok with the Springfield police. Yeah. Arresting the lady for eating a cat. Yeah. That's. And she was from Ohio. No, I think she's from Haiti, wasn't she?
Why'd you kill the cat?
This is the video he's seen. Police footage of a woman being arrested for allegedly killing and eating a cat. Yes, but she isn't a Haitian migrant. She is American. She was born here. And this isn't Springfield either. Across this town, we have not found anyone who has seen pet-eating immigrants.
right, so I'm sure you've seen this whole thing. This blew up on social media about Haitian immigrants eating cats. I don't know whether it's true or not, but this is what I do know. If it is true, it has to be remembered that a lot of islanders eat abomination. For much the same reasons that a lot of Jake eat certain abominations. Like down south, the man would eat possum and all kind of crazy shit. On the islands, they eat iguana, mountain chicken, which is frogs, or anything that crawls out the damn ocean, they eat. And when you go back into the times of slavery, you gotta understand that there was a lot of famines among Jake in them times, because a lot of the crops that they were growing were commercial crops. They weren't food crops. So the little crops that they did grow on the side, if there was any kind of, drought or anything like that, man, they would have a famine because the food would be kept for the masters and they would have to fend for themselves. So a lot of Jake just resorted to eating whatever they could find. That's actually a part of our history. All right. And that's why you see that Jake eat a lot of abominable foods. But I'll say this, like, these people are bugging out about eating cats and dogs, but they eat pig. Let me tell you something. There's no biblical difference, right? Let's get this, between eating a cat or a pig. They're both unclean, and that's the bottom line. All right, if you go into Leviticus, the 11th chapter, it lists the clean animals and the unclean animals. And nowhere in Leviticus 11 does it say you get like bonus points or you get minus points for eating one animal or another. It doesn't matter whether you eat a horse or a pig or a cat or a dog or a damn lobster or crab. All these animals are just unclean. All right. And so you're not in some higher realm of righteousness because you choose to eat a pig, but you don't eat a dog. Like, there literally is no difference. You're still eating an unclean animal. And if you want to understand clean and unclean animals, then I refer you to Leviticus, the 11th chapter. But one thing was very interesting to me is like a lot of the immigrants that they have a problem with in America is Jake. Even though there's all kind of immigrants coming to America from all over the world, the main immigrants they focus on is, you had the thing with the Haitians now, which is Levi. You got the thing with the Venezuelans, all right, Asha down there, right, and you got a lot of our brothers and sisters from the South Central America flooding up into America, and it's interesting because this is Babylon the Great. This is the place where all the tribes would be oppressed. All right, let's get that. All right, so this is Jeremiah 50 and 33. It said, "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast, and they refused to let them go." All right, so we know that both the kingdoms would be present in Babylon, which is America, Babylon the Great, and you see more and more of our people flooding into that land because it's about to be a place of great salvation, but also great judgment. So a lot of the Jake that's coming from Haiti, coming from the Caribbean, coming from South and Central America, a lot of them are coming there to be destroyed. But some of them are of the elect and they're coming there to be delivered. And it's just interesting to me that, there's like a reverse exodus of Jake into the Babylon the Great. It's very interesting. So that was just on my thoughts. But yeah, going back to Leviticus the 11th chapter, there's animals, there's clean animals, and there's unclean animals. And let me say this as well. A lot of these Americans that's on social media poking fun and talking shit, a lot of them are gonna end up eating their pets. All right, they're gonna eat worse than that because famine is coming. Evil is coming to America, and one of those evils is famine. And like I said, one of the reasons why Jake got used to eating abominations, and you could do the research, is because of famines that would happen, right? Because they would have to basically rely on wild food to sustain themselves. All right, and you Edomites, man, you're gonna find out. See, it's all easy and well that you can go into the store and easily access food. But what's going to happen when food becomes a scarce commodity and you get hungry and you got your little golden retriever up in there? All right. Let me here, because great evil is coming, man. Ezekiel the 7th chapter, verse 5 says, "Thus saith the Lord God, and evil and only evil, behold, is come. An end is come, the end is come. It watcheth for thee, behold, it is come." Now, this applied to Jake back then, but it applies now. The Lord always does things where, you got a kingdom and they're doing too much. And there always comes that point where the Lord brings that kingdom to the end in death, destruction, and plagues and famine. And that's coming to America. Only evil is coming to America, and that evil is gonna bring America to an end. And one of the tools the Lord uses, other than violence, is famine. Ezekiel 7. I'll just get straight to the point. Verse 15. It says, "The sword is without, and pestilence, and famine within." Right, disease and famine. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour. Now, one of the things that happens during famine is people become desperate and they resort to eating things that they just wouldn't normally eat. And you can even, this is known throughout all history. This is not something which should be strange to anyone, that in famines people resort to eating crazy shit, even people. And these Edomites might think that they're too civilized for that, but this is known to have happened during World War One and World War Two. This is not a strange thing. All right, and so you poking fun at whatever this thing is on social media about the Haitians and the fact they're eating cats or whatever the case may be, forgetting that a lot of these guys come from harsh famine-like situations and years of craziness that has led to this degeneration in their diet. But you Americans, your diet's already abominable. but you gonna end up eating them dogs and cats, man, before this thing's all said and done. Even the children. All right. So something to consider, man. A lot of these people that are here poking fun and talking about they'll never do this and they would never do that, we're gonna find out what they're gonna do when that famine hits. All right, because it is coming, man. Pursuant to Second Ezra to 15 chapter. Right, Second Ezra to 15 chapter. We're gonna get hit straight from the point. Yeah. Verse 19, it says, "And a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation." So lack of bread is coming. I mean, even in Ezekiel, Second Ezra 16, it says there's many that's going to die by famine. But before they even get to that famine, well, in the midst of the famine, they're going to be desperate to eat. All right, verse 19, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be sold good cheap on the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy." So great, famine is coming down the pipelines. The scripture tell you, I believe it's in Second Ezra as well, the 6th chapter, about suddenly shall the full storehouses appear empty. What is it? And then you're gonna see these Americans and these Westerners, they're gonna be eating all these things that they say they don't want to eat. Yeah, damn right they're gonna eat them. Because they're gonna be hungry. All right. Where is it? Right. Second Ezra 6 and 22. "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." So there's gonna be a situation where you ain't gonna get that food that you used to. And you never know, you might start eating off Tom and Jerry, man. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be interesting going forward. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if what they're saying about them Haitians and if it's just a psyop thing or algorithm thing, if it, whatever's going on over there. But what we do know is, hey, there's a lot of Jake coming into Babylon in these last days, man. A lot of Jake. Shalom.